Yo, what's up? It's your man Kamari, aka Reno Slow Motion, and it's your man right here. It took me a little bit of time. I had to really think about what I was gonna say or how I was gonna put it into words of my reaction. So the video title is George Zimmerman verdict. The reaction of George Zimmerman's verdict. My Kamari's reaction. I didn't watch the verdict um, because where I'm at, I don't have TV. I mean, like, I don't have cable, don't have basic cable, don't have no cable. I just have internet, so everything I watch is online. Um, but basically, I didn't have to like have the news to get the news. It was on Facebook, it was on MySpace, it was on Twitter, any site, any news station, any paper, anything that can go online and still be to the public eye, it was out. People was telling me. Um, my reaction is, I think a man that know what he did should pay a price for it. My thoughts is it's not really a big race thing. It's not a black and white. It's not gray area. It's wrong is wrong. And that's just what it is. You do a crime, you pay the price for the crime you did. If you take a life, if you didn't give a life, you shouldn't take a life. I don't care what someone's done to you, if what you might think is suspicious um or thuggish or whatever. If you did not give life to that person, there's no reason you should take a life. And for it to be a teenager boy who didn't even hit out of high school, didn't even get to graduate yet, didn't even get to try to go to college, should be right now expressing how he's supposed to be, what clothes he's going to wear for the new year, seeing his girlfriend, what his goals going to be for his senior year after he graduates. These are things that Javon Martin will never ever be able to experience. He won't be able to go to his prom. He will not be able to enjoy his graduation ceremony. His parents will not be able to rejoice watching their child walk across the stage as he receives his certificate of achievements for 4 years. You can't erase what you've done. And it's hard to move on when justice has not been done. I'm sorry to say, but George Zimmerman was wrong. He knew what he was doing that night. He had all intentions of doing what he did last night. He didn't care what he did last night. As I see his reaction, as every day he's been in court, all the times I've seen him, he's never reacted until his verdict day, when they dropped all charges against him and also manslaughter charges against him. Oh yeah, he was proud that day. That was the first time I seen this man smile. I can't rejoice someone who did something wrong. I can't I am angry, but I'm not going to get ignorant with it, because I think that what is done to the dark will always come to the light. You knew what you did. Everyone knows what you did. And even though you think you're free, you're really never going to be free, because you're going to always have to walk in the eyes of a man who murdered a child, just got off scot free. And you assumed he was something other than a normal boy, a normal child walking around his own neighborhood. Your accusations put him into saying he was a thug because he had a hoodie on. I wear a thug. I'm not a thug, and I wear a hoodie. You're saying that every child that walks around, or every person walks around that wears a hoodie, is a thug. You shot an innocent child who was only walking around his own neighborhood to go back home from a 7-Eleven, buying a bag of Skittles and a Arizona tea. I don't get it. I don't understand. Most days, if you're thuggish, you really carry a gun, but I don't think they really in thug hoods carry a bag of Skittles or some Arizona tea just to assault you with it. I think that you as a man need to own up and take responsibility for your actions of foul play in killing this boy. I think that you as a man need to man up and say that you are guilty and you need to admit to what you've done. See, you can lie to people, but you can't lie to God because God knows all. I can forgive you, but does not mean to take away my anger, because God says, forgive my enemies, and you are an enemy to me, and I don't like you. I think what you did, and you got away scot-free, but if it was someone else off the street, and no offense of saying of color, he would be prosecuted to unbelievably terms. He would be prosecuted to probably life or execution. But for you, as a man of your color, you got off scot-free. You manipulated the judicial system as well as they already are corrupted, and they stood behind you to say that you are innocent. You assaulted, harassed Trayvon Martin that night. You made it your duty to chase him down. You made it your duty to confront him when police officials told you to stand down. You disrespected their order, and I think that it's wrong for you to get off of what you did. My reaction is you are guilty, beyond guilty. You are guilty to manslaughter. You are guilty for having no emotional or any compassion for this man's family. You are guilty for just sitting up here accusing and assaulting anyone that is of color or anyone that is not of color. Of if you wear a hoodie in the middle of the night, be aware because you might be thuggish. Be aware because you might be assumed as someone who is unruly and maybe someone who might want to rob or do bodily harm to someone. With these false accusations, this child died from it. You took a life, and yours should not be spared as it was. I'm hearing that now you're probably going to go back to court because you molested someone. But see, God knew you did wrong, as well as the world knew you did wrong. So when you go to trial for what you just did, or basically what you thought was in the dark, came back to bite you in your rear end, and it came to the light, remember when you go in, remember what Trayvon Martin felt. That scared, that harassed, that humiliation. He was tortured that night from you. You will feel that every day you walk, every day you see a black person, every day you see a person in a hoodie that is not black, every day you look at your TV screen, every day you think you're about answering your phone or walk out your door, you will remember you took a life that you did not giveth. And these family members now know that in Florida, you can get away with murder. If you stand up for yourself, it doesn't matter. Because as long as you stand up for yourself, Florida says you can walk if you kill them for standing their own ground. If you think that they're thuggish or they might be criminal acting or look suspect, that you have the right to shoot them because you were standing your ground, because you feel threatened. My thing is, if you look at that child's picture, how he died, he no way looked it like he was thuggish. He no way looked it like he was trying to do any harm. He was just a child that wanted to get some candy, get something to drink, and go back home. But you took his last walk, his last breath. And I don't think that you should be able to go scot-free thinking that you are a free man when you are plainly, George Zimmerman, guilty. My reaction of this is, I hope you relive every day of your life remembering that one night, that one day that you could have just walked away.